What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a little update video on my IBUYPOWER PC. As you guys know, if you guys watched the last video, the PC I had actually got sent to me originally was the wrong one. So yeah, so it ended up being like I ended up looking at the inside when I got it booted up and everything, and I looked at the memory and pretty much all the specs. A lot of it wasn't lining up. So that one thing led to another, and I ended up contacting their customer support. And they were pretty much like, yeah, if one thing's missing, yeah, that's on our end. But if it's more than one, which it was, they said you probably have the wrong PC. I gave them the serial number, and it turns out, yeah, it wasn't my PC at all. So it was a bummer. It kind of sucked because at that point I had already been waiting about almost 5 weeks. I think had just hit 4 weeks for it to be shipped. So yeah, so it kind of sucked. Had to wait a little longer. But the good news is they ended up sending me a shipping label. I shipped it right back. Took about a week, the whole process to send it back and receive it. So it wasn't too bad. And yeah, so I got it back. Pretty much it looks exactly the same. So it's easy to see where the mistake was. There was just a few key things that were different from mine than the other one. Actually, a lot. It was like really upgraded. The one that they had sent me was like a base model, which when I first started that's what it was. It started out as a base model. If you go on their website, you can see they have where you can pick one that's already pre-built, or you can actually even go from then. It takes you to another page, and you can build on what is already there. So you can always customize every single piece of it. Everything you can customize, which is pretty cool. Or you can start from the ground up, build your own. Which that's not what I did. I ended up choosing what they had. And then I upgraded pretty much everything, like I said in the video before, except the case was the only thing I ended up staying with. So, because I really liked it. So anyways, so I've had this about 6 months now. I got it back in July. So without any further ado, let's boot it up. I'll show you guys what it looks like. The RAM does stay on in rest mode, and that's just so when it boots up, everything that if you had something open, it boots up right away, or it boots up a lot faster than if it were off. The only thing I don't like is that the lights stay on, but it's not a big issue, whatever. So let's get it started, and I'll show you guys what it looks like, and we'll talk a little bit more about my times as far as waiting, the process, customer support, and the build. So stay tuned. All right, so real quick before we start anything else, I'll start with the parts that came with the PC. The original PC was just the mouse, or the actual PC itself. A mouse and keyboard. These are not the mouse and keyboard that came with it. Usually what their promos have is you'll get a mouse from IBUYPOWER. I think this one was free. And then you could always upgrade, like I said, if you didn't like the mouse that they have, you could always upgrade. So that's one piece it came with. I ended up adding an RGB mouse pad, which is XPG Battleground XL Prime, which is what I talked about before. I ended up getting a second, and just kind of for me, my own thing, it made it aesthetically better to look at. And also, it came with a keyboard. I believe this keyboard added like $5 to it, to the total price. But this is a standard, I think it's a membrane keyboard. So Aries M2, it is fully RGB and customizable, and you can do it through their software, which is pretty cool. Okay, so and then when they sent me the second PC, what ended up happening is they sent me a whole nother keyboard and a whole nother mouse. So they ended up sending me the MEK3 LT mechanical keyboard. So that's what this one is. That's what I'm using now. It works a lot better, and I've always heard mechanical keyboards are a lot better than regular keyboards. So then I let them know that that's what I got, and they let me keep it, which is pretty cool then. And they let me keep all of the mouse pads and all that stuff. So anyways, so I ended up buying also more RAM. Which now I have 32 gigabytes, which is super helpful for editing and playing certain video games. It helps a whole lot. And so, okay, so let's go to the timeline. So I ended up ordering my stuff. If you guys are in that same boat, I ordered mine the first go around for the States when we had the first shutdown. And that was like mid shutdown. So they were pretty swamped, and it was taking a long time to get parts. And the process, if you know what I'm talking about, is as far as ordering through them, they update you whenever your order moves departments. So you'll have, let me see, I forgot what it was. So you'll have, it'll tell you when you submitted your order. I know you guys probably can't see it, but whatever, I can see, I'm telling you. and then it tells you when they received it, which that process for me went through like right away. Like they received my payment, it got processed. From then on, it was like maybe 10 days roughly. So if you're in that same boat, give it time, especially right now because we're in another shutdown and they're probably short-staffed and stuff like that, and they have a shitload of orders coming through. So be patient, it'll come through. After that, it sends you to the where they're gathering all the materials, all the components, everything is being processed and gathered for to build your computer. From that point, it was about 2 days for them to gather all the components and start building. At that point, I got another email from them and it said my package was shipped, but it wasn't. What happens is they ship, if you order a monitor, they'll ship that first, just because it's already, they don't need to put anything together. They just, pick it out, send it to you. So I got super excited. I was like, fuck, hell yeah, like but it didn't tell me, it didn't say that it had been put together because it has to go through other phases, and I'll explain them in a minute, before they ship it out. From then on, it took, I think, about a week for it to get here. Come to find out, it was just a freaking monitor. So after that, the next email I got was pretty much saying that the build was put together already. Everything was already set, and now it's going to get sent to software burn-in. And from that point, it was about 15 days from waiting from the burn-in process to from when I got the email saying that the final quality control check had been completed. At that point, it was sitting for like about another 12, almost 12 days. I guess it was just waiting to be shipped. So that kind of sucked too. Ended up, they sent it to me. It took about maybe like 3 or 4 days to actually arrive. At that point, there was a lot of stuff going on in LA, and that's where that company's based out of. And so as you guys all know, I got the wrong PC, ended up getting the wrong PC, and had to send it back. At that point, it took, like I said, about another week. So grand total, it was about 5 weeks, just over 5 weeks to get the full everything sent. But throughout the process, I was getting a hold of them. A lot of people I've seen on the forums, they say that they're on hold for hours at a time and stuff like that. I personally never experienced that. What I did is they have a live chat, and it's usually during their business, their hours of operation, and you're able to access it through the website. And I think the longest I waited was maybe 15 minutes to get an agent on the thing, and they're super cool. At least with me, they were. I was cool with them. So I mean, and whatever question I had, they pretty much answered it, and that's what I ended up using to find out that I had the wrong PC. So just if you're in that same boat, just give them time. Like I said, use the live chat, don't call them, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I don't really play crazy games. The video card it has right now, it's a 2070 Super. I know the 30 series came out. I bought this, like I said, right before they came out. They came out like a couple months ago. So eventually I'll upgrade, but as for now, like for the games I'm playing, this card is pretty much more than enough to handle any game I'm playing. And if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I can help. Hopefully I can help answer any of the questions you guys have as far as where you are. If anything else, also you can check Reddit. Reddit was very helpful. Oh, and a reminder again, if you guys are interested, I'll put the full specs down on the description, and just make sure you check that out. Oh yeah, and one last thing, I will say that I can't believe it took me so long to switch over. I've been a console player, PlayStation my whole, ever since I've been gaming. So switching over from PS4 to a PC, it's like night and day, man. It's even playing the same games that I was playing on PC. It's like a huge difference. If you're able to, switch over, and like guys, promise you'll never look back. Except for like if you have a big friends list that people you actually play with on console, man, it's really hard to go back. Just trust me. Yeah, even with the new consoles coming out, it's still pretty hard for them to compete with what you're able to do to a PC. So I'm still learning, like I said. But again, if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.